You are listening to King's Court Podcast.
I can feel someone trying to pop off.
Are y'all ready?
I'm good.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this thing.
Plug.
All right, everyone, we're back. Another episode of the King's Court Podcast. I know you missed us. I know we had a break, holidays, and then CBI and various things, but we're back now. Not Yeti can feel safe again. Rest assured that we're back. In this corner, we have me, the king, and in the other corner, we have...
You have Axel, and I think this is the episode with the highest average age between all the people in the call.
Yikes.
Wait,
no shade, but didn't Kikai pass that?
Yeah,
no shot. No shot. We only got Zoomers beforehand.
You be wily. You don't even know how old anyone is, actually. Anyway, today we got a special guest. Just to, over this time, have the pleasure of seeing this player grow, get better at the Netrunner. And hopefully you'll get to hear in this pod some of the awesome personality. We all scream for Ice Cream College in the building.
Hey, what up, Doe? Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yep. We're happy to have you. And, fresh off another, top 8 under your belt?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just wrapped up top 8 CBI. Had Ob absolutely carry me, and then I scrubbed out with my lat. They were close games, though.
Yeah, I mean, listen. They say eat your greens, but too much greens is not good for you.
Yeah, should have just played criminal.
Well, we can get into that, but I don't think that was the move.
Nah, don't worry. It would have been high.
Okay, just bravado this an enemy, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah, facts.
Take this damage. What is the move? Before we get into all that, all right? You got to go back to the beginning. All right. How you got into Netrunner, why you got into Netrunner, what was going on at the time? Maybe when did you get into Netrunner? If you're okay with exposing your
my boomer age, yeah. So I'm pretty up there. So I got into the game the summer of 2015, and it was interesting because I had previously been really into board games, really into video games, but I never I even played Yu-Gi-Oh at a certain point when I was real young. This is 3rd grade. So eventually started hanging out with this one friend group who was we hung out at Chromatically's house. Steven, shout out. And that was the house to go over and play board games. They had a sick setup. And then one day, so this is at the very tail end of high school. So after I graduated high school, Steven introduces me to this game Netrunner. And at the time I was had no idea what Netrunner was, no idea. So he was just explaining the game, and then he's yeah, so it's a cyberpunk universe. I'm dope, I love cyberpunk. He's it's asymmetrical. I'm dope, I love asymmetrical games. And he's and it's a card game where both players have different objectives. And so pretty much just immediately fell in love with the game. I was absolutely god awful. The only reason I won games was because I just played ETF, and Steven just told me, yeah, just install Take 2 credits. Just install a card and take 2 credits, and you'll be fine. And so that was kind of I was definitely more of a court player, but I just kept playing, and then eventually he recruited another one of my friends, Bryce, aka Rip Netrunner, and we basically just had an LGS down the street where we could go and play different GNKs. And it's crazy looking back because it's I was an 18-year-old kid learning this card game, and then I would go down the street and play against 30-year-old men who have and I'm literally just doing math problems with cards. Is kind of how I explained it to my parents and my other friends of what I was doing. And then so basically just spent a few months just playing, and then I got introduced to sort of the meta, quote unquote, because Worlds had happened, had no idea Worlds was happening. And I eventually picked up Prepaid Kate. So I was just like a Shaper HB boring player, max efficiency, max squeezing every credit you can out of a turn. And then was just gaming a bit. And then the dreaded MWL hit and my beloved Prepaid got absolutely murked face. And that was Joker moment number 1. Joker moment number 2 was after the MWL was playing Replicating Perfection because like again I was a Glacier player, and then I got absolutely smoked by a Dumblefork deck. Just like the Faust, Parasite, Wizard, all your ices blank or dead, and so on and so forth. And then I actually placed pretty high in some tournaments, won a store championship, took a break in 2017 just for schooling because I was trying to get my bachelor's degree. And I was like, well, Netrunner's always going to be here, right? Like, I can just get into the game back. I can just get back into the game whenever. And then the dreaded announcement hit, foreshadowing of that Worlds 2018 would be the last Worlds under FFG because of the licensing rights. So I actually made my way out to Worlds 2018, absolutely scrubbed out with an APOC Val and 6-point Asmari deck with Echo Chamber. And then saw the like I was there. There are like so many events and like cultural moments that happen that I'm like brushing over. But Worlds 2018 wraps up. Joe Shupp wins. At the time I was a big Comrades fanboy. So this is like Dean, White Blade, Big Unit, Big Boy, all those people. Josh 01. Those are like I really really looked up to them and kind of like their way of playing the game and sort of their process from what I could piece together how they were like able to stay ahead. Also, shout out this guy, Dan DiArgenio, who also did some things, who's also part of that group. But yeah, so then that kind of went down. And interestingly enough, because I was based in Michigan, I actually kind of saw the seeds of Nisei being planted with Ice Cold Jazz. I vividly remember getting burgers and beers with Ice Cold Jazz and them explaining like, yeah, we have all these community members. I want to keep the game alive, and we're going to make this company Nisei or whatever designation it was, nonprofit, whatever. And we want to keep the game alive, and maybe we'll make cards at some point. And I was like, that sounds really cool. I'm gonna go finish my degree though. So I got my bachelor's degree. Took a huge break. I like kind of knew that the game was still alive through COVID, et cetera, but then I didn't actually get back into the game until the 2023 boat Drago ban. I think there was another card, a few cards on there, I forget, but I vividly remember Endurance and Drago being banned, and that was important because I still had a group chat with Bryce and Steven, and Steven was like, all right guys, like I taught this one person at my college, her name is Fa. She like loves Netrunner. I'm playing more Netrunner. They just made this new ban list. Like, I think we should get back into the game. And I was like, bro, I don't know. I'm like trying to do my PhD right now. Like, I was like, okay, I'll just like check it out. And I'm like, I'm reading the ban list and I'm reading the cards that got banned. And I'm like, Endurance. Okay, that's 8. That's a lot. I'm like, I'm reading the card and I'm like, why did they print this card? This card's cracked. And then I'm reading Drago and I'm like, yeah, this card's cracked. Why did they print this card? Thank God these cards are gone. And so so like basically just got right back into it. Like started playing with Bryce Steven Fa. We were testing out different things, and it's really funny. Oxo, I actually don't even know if you remember this, but I vividly remember trying to get back into the game, and I picked up PD and Hosh.
Yo,
and I remember you had the one true pairing, and I remember you posted a video of, I think it was like an AMT of you playing Hosh.
Yeah.
And the big difference was you were not playing Dirty Laundry, you were playing Raindrops. And I remember asking commenting in this video and being like, "Hey, just real quick question, like, why do you rate Raindrops over Dirty Laundry? Da da da. Like, is the extra conditional draw that much better?" And like, we had a small conversation on that video, which is hilarious, knowing what we know now. I don't know if we'll get into that about Worlds this year, but yeah, you were one of the first people that I actually got advice on like the meta, of getting back into the game. And it's also funny about 2023 is this might just be revisionist history, but I distinctly remember watching Metropole Grid because I remember Andre being a big figure in the community back in the FFG days. So I was like, okay, well, let me get back into seeing what the new cards are all about. Let me see Andre. I know he's a pretty good player, da 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 da. And I remember seeing Augustus Caesar in that chat asking questions and playing with Andre. So I don't know if it's revisionist history, but I feel like 2023 is sort of like this kind of like this catalyst year where like a lot of really good players kind of like started taking the game seriously. At least that's just from my perspective. I could be wrong. But yeah, we were playing. Steve and Bryce and I, we eventually go to East Coast Nats, where Fa eventually beats D in coming from losers, winning the grand finals. And that was like a huge turning point because that also got the attention of like other testing groups, not even just Snare Bears, but also Unbanned. And so from there, still kept testing. And then there's almost a point where I actually quit the game again because of 2024 CBI, where I did so bad. Like I was expecting to make top cut. Like I was thinking I was going to pop off, but I got absolutely wrecked just because I went off script and I didn't trust the process. And that CBI, the Future Perfect, the testing group I was a part of, formed a small little conspiracy, I guess, with Unbanned. And we brewed this Lou and Asmari deck, and I completely threw them in the trash thinking they were bad. And then I just got wrecked. And that was a huge turning point because I basically I straight up almost quit the game again because of how bad I performed and how angry I was at myself. But I eventually like took a month off and I was like, no, I want to try to get better. And around that time, that's when Saka 234 eventually joined Future Perfect. And I was like, okay, I'm completely wiping the slate clean. I'm going to like basically relearn the game because I think just my fundamentals are that bad. So I literally spent all of 2024 essentially relearning the game. And I just played Hosh with like a few different corps here or there just to be like, I'm going to learn every single line there is to do with Hosh until I'm comfortable playing other decks. And also that year I was finishing up a PhD, so sticking to the plan of just playing Hosh did a lot of help for me. And eventually that entire practice sort of culminated in this past year where I won a districts, topped at a mega city, bubbled out a few continentals, and then top 16 at Worlds, and literally yesterday top 8 at CBI. Also brushing over the fact that I joined tiebreakers, but like, that was also a huge help.
Not important.
No
testing
drama
group.
there or anything. Yeah. Just, some of the best players in the game. But yeah, no, so that's kind of like, I know I kind of rambled, but that's sort of like the very, very broad strokes. Like now it's kind of crazy, like that I've known about this game for 10 years and I know so much lore about it. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. You also like forget tiebreakers for a second. You just like absolutely left out like how we met.
No, that is a hilarious story, and I feel like it's I was thinking about it. I feel like Brandon's kind of like the community netrunner cat. Like it doesn't matter where you are, you're going to see him some way somehow. You're going to see him. So
yeah.
The
so
community netrunner cat. That is a new one. Haven't got that one before.
Bro's like 3 meters tall, and then he like yells like hella loud. So like, of course you're going to notice him.
Yeah,
I mean, not only But like, I guess I have to ask you this in a different context than Andre. Is it because I'm black?
Yeah,
I'm
no
the,
comment. No comment.
yeah, the neighborhood cat, but like I'm the black cat, you know?
But you bring good luck is the good thing.
Oh, okay. Well, just clearing that up. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you. Mhm.
Yeah. So the reason I say that is because for my PhD I had to move to Maryland,
Mhm.
and I was trying to get into a local meta because at the time Steven and Bryce were in different states, so the only way I could play was online.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, let me try to join some local metas. So I eventually reached out to Capital Netrunners,
Mhm.
so the DC meta,
Yeah.
and they met online as well. But I was like, hey, at least I get to start some foothold in like a meta.
Mhm.
And eventually I joined one of their weekly sessions or bi-weekly sessions, and I remember distinctly one of the players was there, and then all of a sudden just Brandon shows up, just no
Okay.
video, and both of us are on video. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then we're talking, and I'm like, oh yeah, so Brandon, like, when did you move to Maryland? Da da da. And Brandon's like, Maryland, bro, I'm in Toronto. I'm like, what? Okay, sure. And then I'm like, hey, do you want to play a game, Brandon? And Brandon's like, yeah. So you can leave and then we'll play. And I'm like, what? Okay. So I leave the call, and then the other person in the call joins on their account, and I'm playing them, and I'm like, hey, aren't I supposed to play Brandon? And the guy goes, yeah, you are. I'm like, okay. So we finish up that game. I think you beat me, or I was playing. Yeah, I forget the actual outcome of the game. But then I joined back in, and I'm like, hey, so like, why? So like, what's going on? And then the other guy on the call goes, so Brandon has low visibility, and I was like, oh, okay, I see. The pieces are coming together now. And so
I'm like
yeah,
a
so
snowstorm.
Brandon was like.
Let's go.
And so Brandon was like my first point of contact with like a outside of Aksu, like a true like grinder netrunner player. And
Mhm.
so just kind of like I was just put on Brandon's radar. And at the time, I think that was a little after East Coast Nats when FA won. So I think Brandon already had his, his mindset on trying to roast us with his absolutely. And I distinctly remember one vacation.
Mhm.
I was on vacation, and I literally spent multiple hours trying to beat Brandon's cold site healing ag. I just remember Brandon going, "Oh hey, you guys want to play a game?" And
Mhm.
we're like, "Yeah, sure." Load in. Why does your ag's R&D say 54? Don't worry about it.
You mean
Oh
59?
no, because you drew 5. I
Mm.
was like, why
Oh
did that
yeah.
say 54? And
Yeah.
you're like, don't worry about it. And then we're playing, and you absolutely, we caught major hands that night as a group. And then you're like, okay, yeah, I gotta go. I'll talk to y'all later. And then I
Tech
remember
work.
multiple hours later, you put someone in the shadow realm
Yep.
when you end the call and they start going through the binder and finding always have a backup plan and thinking you have to spend 3 influence for that card. So that is some of the evil that Brandon possesses.
I didn't know this was going to be an exposed Brandon session, but
Well, you hit me with the cat comment. I got to hit back.
absolutely, I expect nothing less. See, the other part of this story that I remember is that, yeah, like we got on a call, but I remember. Do you remember that tournament that we were in, and Janet was so fucked. Do you remember? And were you playing that one? Yeah, Janet was like so fucked, and like
Mm.
every action took like so long that they even had to reset Janet in the middle of the turn.
Yeah.
Like that shit was
Yeah,
crazy.
it,
And
it, it
like
got really bad. Yeah.
Mhm.
I did not make the cut, even though I only lost one time because I had like 4 times or 3 times or something. Jada was so fun. Like, I had this like insane record. Like, I remember going into the last round in insane. Like, I have no losses, but like I might not make the cut if I don't win
You
this
have
last
like
game.
no wins.
I had like, what was I? I was like
Like
I can't remember how
404
many
or
rounds
some
it
shit.
was like I was like 3, maybe I was like 3-0-3 or something insane. Like I have like 2 points and 15 points gets beat or something like that.
That's
But it was
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. And but yeah, I remember one of the Future Perfect playing Essa in one of the rounds and just being like and like being so happy. They're playing Essa, they're moshing their like paperclip, like their bin breakers into the bin and doing all the stuff. And I'm just playing Egg, being like, nope, and then keeling and then just like not being able to like get in and just slowly sucking the life out of them. And yeah, feeling so good because I was like, fuck Essa, and like, yeah, and it was so fun. And then I think after that is when I got on that call like a few days later. But like, yeah, it was that was a good time. That was a good time.
The worst part about playing or being on Brandon's radar, but not knowing all of the oracles. It's crazy because you'll just play like this absolute what you think is absolute jank, but you're like, how do I beat this deck? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm being put in a blender. And then like 3 days later, you just get a message from Brandon being like, "Yeah, did you like it when I with this duel or some crazy brew?" And you're just like, wait, did I save that replay? Did I? What's in those cards? What was in that deck? Like, I gotta find the juice. No, they're great.
I have to tell this stuff. It's so funny. I remember doing this exact thing, but like in person to not again. Like we were like we're like it's like it was the district in New York last year. I show up, okay, like me not again, like we're all doing well, and I think it's like round 5, round 6, something like that. There's gonna be like 7
It's up
rounds.
there.
So yeah. And it's like, okay, like we can ID or whatever you want to play it out. Like I could safely ID, but like I think for not again, it wasn't to say. It's like, okay, no, we'll play it out. And then shuffle up the cards. And I'm like, so yeah, like, so like, are you still not playing this card? Do you have this card? How is this card working for you? And they're like, how do you know? And I'm like, listen, not again. I'm like, if you really want to do this seriously, bro, you gotta have a Smurf dog. I know all the cards in your deck. It's like, you don't even know I'm playing you.
You gotta
like,
gotta have the scouts. Yeah.
You know? And then I just be like, yeah, and I'm just like listing moments of like previous games the last week where I'm like, hey, so remember when this happened and that happened? They're like, oh. way to psychologically destroy
like a
your opponent
chameleon.
before you play them. Yeah, it was so funny, and I had a moment like this in CBI because I had played a person that week, and I was B Blum was oracling for me and was like, yeah, oracling for the king, and I was playing kill out of Epiphany, and then happened to pair up with them in the tournament. They're like, oh, maybe let me see if I don't get killed this time. And I'm like,
oh no.
Well, that cat's out of the bag, lols.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah. Get the Smurfs, people. Get
get multiple Smurfs like Aksu.
Yeah.
I have a couple only.
Being back, yeah, sure. being back in Netrunner, getting back into it, being in the competitive scene, and I think like between your former Future Perfect members, like you're one of the only ones that are still going hard. What do you feel like your like? Cause you played a lot to like get better and stuff. What are some of your like takeaways? Like what helped you get better at the game and things like that.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this recently, and it's I for me, I think a big thing is it's kind of like knowing what you like,
Mhm.
or kind of like knowing what you're good at is like a real important thing. Like through different testing, I've never been like like in a like a mulchy, like a super ice trashy player. Like
Mhm.
at the core, I've been a very reg runner player. I am very like aggressive, but I've always just kind of like defaulted to decks that want to play a lot of like just quick cash economy run events. You either play Gachapon or SMC to like fetch things, or mutual favor. So
Mhm.
more of those like reg, Sable, Lat, Hoshiko, just like generically good IDs. And also it helps when you have, Banhar. You play with Banhar for like a year in Hosh. That also helps a lot. But that was kind of like my first step of like, okay, I just want to like hone in on what I actually enjoy playing. And what I enjoy playing is very boring, control-y runners, where like I don't want to
Yes.
have to fear Mav. I don't want to have to fear like Kesselroyd or different or Boomy nowadays.
Mhm.
So that was kind of like a big thing, was sort of like learning what I'm good at. And then I think another piece of it is this. I don't know if how familiar you are with CTZ's write up 419, his 419 deck from Cascadia 2023. I think that was the
Yeah,
deck
the
list with just
worm or something.
Maker's Eye, Legwork, Katorga Borga,
Yeah.
Katorga Breakout. And there's one specific line that's kind of resonated with me. It's kind of like, pick your play style and like go for it. And that's very generic. But what I've found is through testing and through tournaments, I found that like my two biggest strengths are my resiliency and my creativity. So like I really enjoy playing decks where it doesn't matter if the runner's on like 6 points, they have 30 credits, right? And I'm on 0.
Mhm.
It's like just keep playing the game. Just keep playing the game. Don't give up. Just keep playing the game. And what I mean like don't give up is like play to all of your outs. There was a really good example of this at Worlds this year with when I was playing my Swiss game against Kikai.
Mm.
They were playing Reg Sable with a wheels, and they just completely shut me down. Like straight up, we're just like playing the game perfectly. And this was a false lead. I was playing a false lead Alco deck. They were on like 4 or 5 points. So the next agenda most likely wins the game for them. And in that, I was just like, okay, we're just going to keep playing. We're just going to keep playing for any out. And my out was install this FOT, res it, install some other things, and just like hope that through them not realizing it, or the general fatigue throughout the event, that they're going to make a mistake. And what they ended up doing is they ended up trashing FOT, which it didn't really matter because again they were on 4 or 5 points, so the next score most likely wins, which allowed me to big oppo them. And then they only got 2 clicks to run, and they chose correctly. They ran R&D. The top card was an agenda, and then they won the game. But kind of like that example really sticks with me, because it was like I literally had Chris Dyer come up to me and go, "Hey, I was watching that game. I totally thought you were gonna lose, for the record." So like the fact that you even got like within a few clicks or like one access of winning, that's like a bit like big ups to you. And so those kind of like set the foundation, I would say, of my improvement. Is kind of like, okay, even though Virus Anarch is a really strong deck in this meta right now, just realizing I'm not a good player with that is important to realize, more than like kind of like what deck I should bring. Because like at the end of the day, I can probably play Hosh, Sable, Lat to somewhat successful results. But like not kneecapping myself or being mature about it and being like, no, I can't really play this Virus Host deck. And that's not like a bad thing. That's just kind of how it is. So I would say like those two things sort of, then you can build upon the like, okay, I want to go over replays and see what my sequencing is like. Okay, I want to go over my deck list and I want to see do I really like this card and do I actually think it's worth the slot, or is it just like a pet card? Or like, hey, I'm having trouble with this matchup, like Epiphany. I'm not really understanding when I should or shouldn't trash things, when I should go sniffing for Hollow Men or let them score a 2-pointer. You know what I mean? Like all of that is important, but I would say it's if you don't have a good understanding of like who you are as a player, like what play styles you enjoy, and the right it like if you don't know what your strengths are, then you can't play the game towards those strengths, if that makes sense. It's very like nebulous, but that's kind of like where I think for myself has been found in just realizing that. So
Okay. I haven't prepped you for this at all.
yeah.
But right now, because
Yeah.
and when I ask this, you're gonna laugh because you'll know why. What is your favorite card right now?
Ooh, I was thinking about that. So originally, I would say my favorite card was of NSG cards was Bladderwork, just because I loved like any. All right, let me cook. Let me cook.
No.
So I love cards and or strategies in any game where you want to like reverse expectations, subvert expectations. So in Pokemon, there's a move called Trick Room where the speed order is reversed. So slower Pokemon go ahead of faster Pokemon. And so those kinds of strategies I really enjoy. And so Bladderword is sort of in that niche of pretty much for 99% of corps, you want to have a lot of money, right? Like if you just have infinite money, you don't win the game, but you can res everything, you can push, you don't get hit with a tempo loss by scoring agendas. The thing I loved about Bladderwort is like it was this fun game of like lowering your credit totals in a creative way to interact with the runner, to force an issue early. I know it's pretty controversial card, Bladderwort. Now it's like so ubiquitous and so powerful, especially with Alco. But it also comboed really well with hard hitting news because with Trace you could put credits into it and Nassex. So I built a Future Perfect with East Coast Nats. We had a lot of success with an OB that used hard hitting news Nassex to literally launder Bladderwork credits onto the Nassex along with hard hitting news. It was an absolutely evil deck, and I loved it so much. But now I would honestly say that my favorite card is Cupulation, just because there's like there's probably like 10 different things you can do with that one card, and I think it's having having a legwork that you can tutor for. B, it's not really imp. It's kind of even better than imp because you can just pick up any non-agenda that you access. It also has really wacky interactions with Regenesis, where you simulchip it, and yeah, I just love cards and like agendas where you trade with your opponent. Like that was a big thing that got me into the game that I completely negated or failed to mention was that the action of taking an agenda as the runner from a corp is like that's like top 5 board game thing to do. Like the only thing better is playing a legacy game and like ripping up cards, but unfortunately you can't rip up your opponent's cards. You can only eat them. So Cupulation kind of fills that void of like, oh, I access this card, now I can take it. And it's also just so many funny interactions like XDG, the New York districts we were talking about. He cupped my Malia, and I was just like, that just tickled me for some reason.
Okay, so I was hoping that you would tell the full truth. Okay, number one, all right. The main reason that you like Cup has nothing to do with anything you said, and it's that you can say Cup these nuts. Let's be honest. Number
Bro, that's for the internal server, bro.
No, it's Cup these
everything
nuts.
comes out here.
Number 2 is your favorite card is not Bladderwort or Cupulation, or at least it could have been at one point, but you have a new favorite card every week. Anytime in testing that we play, guys, Ice Cream College will come on. He'll be like, "Oh my god, okay, this card, it's bonk. It's amazing. It's crazy.
It's
You should
fog.
play this card. I played
It's so
some
fog,
games
bro.
on JNet, and this card slapped, and this card is the best." And like then like 3 days later, there'll be this new card. He tried this new deck. He'd be like, "Oh my god, this card's amazing." There's like his
Yeah,
favorite
well,
card,
Yeah.
right? That's why I specifically said, "What's your favorite card right now?" You know, because it changes quite a bit.
Yeah, he
And
will also switch the opinion on
gotta
the
let
old
the people
cards
know that.
also. So like there's conversation, especially about like raindrops, for example, where bro has flipped on raindrops like 15 times or something.
oh yeah, Raindrops and I have the most complicated relationship in the universe. So the
Talk
story.
to us about Raindrop.
Oh my god, let me tell you about Raindrops. So again, this is coming full circle because I asked Aksu about it when I was getting back in the game about Raindrops, and it was funny because leading up to Worlds of this year, I was planning on playing a Doll's Hosh deck, which was going to have 48 cards, in which 3 of those going over were Raindrops, and then I was spending influence on Nuka because I was finding that my draw was subpar. And in the tiebreaker house, I didn't play any games. Like I didn't practice any games before Worlds. That's just to say that's how long Aksu and Jai verbally berated me about Raindrops and how I needed to cut it from my deck and that I should spend that influence on stone chips instead. And they literally spent like a good hour plus trying to convince me of this. And I eventually listened to them, and it was completely the right decision because clean getaways and commissions and sure gambles are enough money. But I've come back that you do have to play Raindrops just because Reg Hosh is not in a great spot right now.
Yeah. Also, the big difference used to be
Also, you guys
losing
failed to
Matryoshka was kind
mention.
of bad.
Also, you guys failed to. No, that was not even the best card in the deck. You already know what the best card in that deck was.
Beirut.
1000% Beirut. Oh my god, Beirut was so good. And then, can I tell the story about that real quick?
Yeah.
Because that also
Go
kind of is a
ahead,
full
please.
department.
Oh, you dog.
So Eru, shout out to Man in the Moon for almost beating Brandon at America's Continentals online, in which they were playing like a mulchi, not really a mulchi, I think it had Hermes, but like a trashy Anarch deck. And I mean trashy like it's trashing things, not like it's bad. And I was oracling for Brandon, and Man in the Moon installed Eru and ran with Eru, and both ran. That's no bueno. And about a few days later, I was testing Doll's Hosh because that was after the ban list in which they banned the top 3 corpse, the touch up, the egregious ban list as we call it around here.
Some people
I
do,
queued
yeah.
into a game of some people allegedly call it that. And I queued into a game against Rodham, and I think I was on my Smurf. I was probably on my Smurf playing this this Doll's Hosh, and they just completely shaper U'd me, where they installed like 3 ice on R&D, 1 ice on HQ, 3 ice on the remote, and I just couldn't do anything about it because I was running out of dolls and money trying to find the last agenda. And sort of like just a spark ignited and was like, wait a minute, Eru is just Omar, but better. And I can trash these LEO decks that are 100% going to show up at Worlds. So Beru, like I put all hands on deck, do not leak Eru on JNet. Brandon only leaked it like once or twice. So pretty much a success.
Come on. I did not leak Eru, okay? No leaks happened.
No leaks. Thankfully that wasn't leaked.
There will be no leaks on my resume, thank you.
But fortunately the card well enough that other people also picked up on Eru. So it wasn't like so people in the know knew, like ball knowers knew. But that card definitely helped me against Rodham at Worlds because I actually paired against him the first round of day 2 Swiss. And I was like, all right, I got these fermenters ticking. I've been playing my creative commission. I'm on 6 points. They don't have any ice on archives. I go, okay, click 3, install Eru. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. can I take that back? And he goes, yeah, no problem. I go, okay, thanks. So I take that back. And then next turn he goes, Ice Archives, take a credit. And I was like, well, I guess we're just going through this one ice on R&D, which happened to be a brand, and I twinning saw 3 and I stole the winning agenda. But that was like, all right, cool. Yeah, we did it. We totally, everything went according to plan with Beru. Oh,
That's how you draw it up.
that's exactly how we drew it up. It's honestly so crazy to me how one card can warp a player into doing something so hard like Eru. Because I remember that exact same pattern happened, except I actually installed Eru on click 2 instead of click 3. So I used it against Gyro, who's playing Epiphany, and I saw a bunch of cards, which was very very sketch playing Eru against Epiphany, but I cleared the board and I was able to wiggle my way through the ice on R&D, and they installed 2 ice on Archive, and I was like, okay, well, I probably won, just because this one card warps someone to shore up a dead central against Dahl's Hosh. It's just so, God, that was such a good card. It was such a good slot.
No comment. So how, like, obviously, like we've talked a lot about metas, card includes all kinds of things. I mean, really, for the past, like, since districts, really, since you were like, yeah, I'm gonna take this ace attack out people.
Don't even get me started on Malia.
Oh my god, Malia is we miss you. We miss you.
We miss you, Malia. Please come back.
Please come back to me.
I don't know.
You too, Asa.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I can take.
What I mean, because you've been seeing a lot of success lately. What would you say your like standout performances? Like what you're like, oh yeah, like if you ask me about like this particular tournament, it'd be this one or this particular win or whatever. Like what's your, I guess over the last 18 months, what stands out to you? Like what's your best tournament or tournament you remember the most?
So that's an interesting one, because I would say my favorite one or my best one, actually one that I didn't win. So I had won the American Online District, then I won the April AMT, and then Elevation Drops. And I played in the Sunset or the Sunrise event. It was like the first event. It was hosted by OF 1515. It was like a few days after Elevation dropped. Played that, but then what really stands out to me is the Summer Showdown, part of the Showdowns tournament series that Man in the Moon hosts. Shout out Man in the Moon, great tournament organizer. And the reason why that one stands out is because that was sort of the first, because you got to remember the context of early Elevation was like no one knew anything. Like people were playing PT and thinking it was a good deck. Sorry, not yet, but it wasn't. Like I remember I was like, okay, this is like a big tournament. I'm probably gonna stick with Hosh. Shout out again, Not Yeti had put up a good result with Hosh, so I changed like one card, their Hosh, and I just decided to send it. And then for Corp, I made Alco. That was my first tournament playing Alco of many, and I had like gone through this list extensively with, at the time, the Future Perfect, and got a lot of good tips from Saka. And I was like, okay, I'm really prepared. This feels like really good. Let's see what this tournament holds. And I play round 1 against Aruzan, complete nail biter. I was completely shaking the entire time because their aura was just absolutely too much for me. Then I lost round 2, bounced back round 3, so I was at a record of 2-1. And I remember sitting there and just being like, oh, why? Like I just felt so like anxiety ridden, and I didn't really know what was going on. And so just like I took a little walk, and I was kind of just going over my notes and stuff, and I was like not really confident about what I was doing. And then it sort of like hit me like that I was worrying a lot about every little thing that could go wrong. Like, oh, what if this card is a bite? Oh, what if this card is a trap. Oh, what if I'm not doing my sequence absolutely 100% perfect? And I put that in my write-up that eventually just kind of hit like, oh, I just need to make generally good plays and not worry about the, the edge of the bell curve, like the 5% of, oh, this card could be bite, this card could be Urtica Cipher, and just kind of just trust my instincts and go along with what my deck is saying. And after that, after that break, round 3, I then went 5-0, ID'd into the cut, and then I got 7th, losing to on LEO. Very good. That was the first like, oh, nope, this LEO deck is real. I need to find a solution for it. And then ended up losing to Davs' Seb in one of the lower bracket rounds. And I remember that was the first tournament in which I had done well but not won. But I felt better than the tournament I had won, if I said that correctly.
Yeah.
Like that one was kind of like a switch that was like, oh, I have like a process. Like I have a process that I can like fall back on, and if I feel nervous in the tournament, I can always just assure myself like, hey, at the end of the day, even if I scrub out, I'll have the replay. I can learn about it, learn about the game. I know that my decks are good. I've talked to really smart players about it. My methodology is good. My strategy is sound. Like I don't have to worry about, bringing a knife to a gunfight, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like I know I have the right card. It's just a matter of me putting the pieces together and not giving up. And so I would say that's sort of my favorite tournament, just because of how, and also just kind of like the scale. That was the first time I had top cut at a triple digit player count tournament. All the other ones were like 30 to 40. So that was like a real, like, oh wow, like I did better than a lot of really, really good people. And that was sort of the convincing stage of like, no, this process works. And so yeah.
So in this last CBI, you played.
Mm-hmm.
Did you turn your back on Best Girl?
Yeah, well, again, that kind of comes back to again, like the methodology, right? Is kind of where I'm coming from. Is like again, I was playing Hosh and I was posting Best Girl, but that's just because I was really, first off, Hosh is Best Girl. Let's just say that. But what I was finding in testing and what kind of the meta was showing me was that the way that I look at a meta is sort of like, because I have a science background. I think of it like an ecosystem, if this makes sense. So each deck kind of informs another deck, right? Like why are so many people playing Alco and Epiphany and Ob? Well, first off, it's because, well, a main reason is because Crim is sort of the like, meals ready to eat sort of runner. You put all the good run events in a deck, and then you put the in-faction breakers in, and you have a runner deck, right? And that can beat a lot of I guess, I don't know how to say this, a lot of non like tier 1 meta decks.
Oh, the fair decks, yeah.
Naturally, those Alcos, Epiphanies, and Obs start getting results, and then people, start copycatting and playing those decks because people want to win. Obviously, it's a competitive scene. But I think it's interesting because in the beginning of Elevation, Corpse had this clamp of runners running Deep Dive and Banhar and Info Bounty, and they could just absolutely destroy you on like turn 14, 10 to 14, let's say. And so a lot of these decks now, a lot of these Corpse decks now that are doing well, you can trace their roots back to the beginning of Elevation, where Alco was really good because you could have a board of Cohort Fought, Bladderwort, start firing turn 1, and you get this crazy acceleration. Epiphany, you can have this Warm Reception Spin Doctor, this crazy acceleration, right? So you have all these corps that are asking runners to be prepared turn 1 to fight, right? Like there still exists the BTLs and the RHs and the Zvickies where they want to set up some kind of economy asset, or play a few hedge funds. a lot of the corps now really ask you for, okay, can you find your companions early? Can you find your azimuths early? Can you find your badge early? Or if you don't, I'm going to run away with the game and present an Oppo Fuji flip fork or a measure response Spire fork. Like the games can just get out so quickly. And what I was finding was with Sable and Reg Hosh is that these runners really need like a turn or two to like install their companions or install their class acts or gachapon their breakers away, gachapon their breakers out. Whereas with Lad and Shaper, you're playing 6 Sure Gambles, Sure Gamble and Creative. You can play SMC Overclock to grab Azimat. You have influence for Wheels. You have influence for Cupulation. You have influence for Fermenter, all these really strong programs that you want to see early. But then you also have the chip support in faction. And so for me, it was just kind of like dealing with the threats that corps are presenting honestly as early as turn 1 because they're still honestly living in that deep dive info bounty world. It's just runners don't have those cards anymore. Like that's kind of how I look at the game right now. So it's sort of interesting how I guess you could say the more things change, they stay the same. Like really, there's really nothing different from Ice cohort, behind Ice, Bladderwort new remote. There's nothing different from week 1 of Elevation to now, which is sort of interesting. It's just a few more corp cards got banned, and then Dolls got, and then Cleaver in Daily Cast. So it's interesting. But yeah, that's why I picked up Lat. I just felt like Reg, Hosh, and Sable were just not cutting it early enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they like get rushed out, kind of. Not like points wise, but like tempoed out of the game.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting about this meta is like you could be up on points as the runner, but like if you run too early and you steal too many points too quickly and you don't have a good credit pool or you don't have your drip up or your tech up, you're just gonna get big oppoed for like the corp will just go cool $7, 4 tags upon ye. Or
big oppoed
okay,
measure
cool.
response or...
Double measure response.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's definitely all the stats are saying and vibes wise are saying it's a corp meta. And it's just interesting how you can kind of trace back all of this back to the beginning. And I distinctly remember asking Brandon, hey, should I put measure response in my Alco? Like I want to try to kind of be above the curve. And Brandon being like, no. Measure response ain't it. They can trash it. And like at the time with Sting, yeah, that was probably the correct move, but it's just funny now looking back, like, oh yeah, this entire meta is measure response.
I know. I hear Peter laughing right now. Like he just it's Peter loves. I told you about measured response. Be careful. All of you. Remember, he's like, I promise you, all of you are gonna die once to measured response. Boy, was he right. Peter the goat.
Peter the goat. Yeah, and that's interesting that you bring that up because that also another thing I wanted to say about this meta and like where kind of like thinking about where the game is going to go with Vantage Point is I had a really constructive conversation with Peter after Worlds in the airport waiting for our flight because Peter was flying back to Texas, but they had a connecting flight in Maryland, so we were at the same gate, and they brought up a really interesting concept that's true and that's present in chess, which is there's a concept called sharp openings where you have again, disclaimer, I don't play chess, so I could be wrong, but the way that I understand it is sharp openings are openings that if your opponent doesn't know how to doesn't have the strategy to disarm these sharp openings, you can just overtake the game. Like these are openings where you'll see on YouTube shorts like, oh, watch me checkmate a grandmaster in like 3 moves or something, right? And I think that concept applies a lot to the current game of Netrunner, where I mentioned Ice cohort, Bladderwort new remote, cut pinholes to the bottom is like a very strong opening. And like a lot of these corps really ask you to be prepared turn 1 to interact and then survive like the follow-up, whether that be install 3 cards or oppo, small oppo, or like fast advance out something to deal damage, like an Azef or something. So it's interesting that the game feels very skill intensive in the sense that if you're not prepared to like have strict answers in the first 4 turns, you might as well just like hand the court player a win as like runner. You might as well just like hand them the win. Like if you don't properly assess their board as soon as turn 1, it can be game losing. Like I'm not being hyperbolic here, and that's why you have a lot of people. I'm not going to name names that take issue with cards like Warm Reception, Cohort, Bladderwort, right? Like in a vacuum, these cards seem fine, but it's when you add them all together, you create these very sharp games.
Yeah.
Where you eventually funnel the runner down like an oppo end of the line fork or a measure response fork.
Good thing I only use spoons.
You only use what?
Spoons.
Spoons.
No forks.
No forks, just spoons.
Yep, just shovel it like it's a mini shovel. Just shovel everything in your mouth.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Actually, do you eat with your hands always?
No. What the fuck?
Great.
I feel like
That's great.
Is it crazy?
Out of nowhere.
Like,
What the
what's
fuck?
your favorite utensil? Yeah, what's your favorite utensil?
Probably. Okay. Favorite utensil, like if I could only have one, or like favorite utensil, just like tier list, put it on S tier.
Both. Give me both.
No, we got a tier list.
No, if you only have one, you get the spork.
Yeah, the spork is okay.
Yeah, that shit is legit broken.
Can't you have a spork with like just a sharp edge and then like have the edge, the non-sip side, and then you have a spork knife?
Yeah, I think like I used to be in like scouts at one point and had this travel spork which had like a serrated edge on one side, so it also would function as a knife, and that shit was peak.
You were a Boy Scout?
Yeah.
Dang. Is it the same over there in Finland?
It's different vibes for sure.
Different vibe. How so?
It's like more chill.
Like, do you get badges or like ranks, or you're just like?
I think you're supposed to, but like I never did, or I really didn't care about those.
All vibes.
All vibes.
It was more like just being forest and stuff.
Yeah. Getting used to minus 20-degree weather.
Yeah, isn't nice. At least we have global warming now, so it's less fucked here.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of fire, oh my god, it's like insane right now. Like getting dumped on with 30 centimeters and like damn near minus 30 is cracked. It's pretty.
No,
yeah,
it's
I cannot complain shit.
I had work off Monday. And then my campus also closed this Monday. This coming up Monday. They were like, before any snow came, they were like, just go home. We don't want to deal with you.
Correct.
Okay, I got Eternal to play, bro.
I'm hunkered down. You know. Okay, give me your tier list on utensils. Actually,
I need to Google utensil list.
You need to Google utensils.
I might forget something. There might be some like peak ones that I'm forgetting.
Some hidden technique utensil.
Aren't you the editor? You can just edit it in.
Yeah. I mean, spork is probably pretty S tier, like anyways. I think that's in general the best one.
Yeah, spork's just got to be S
tier. Yeah, like it's like, literally does everything. It's spork and then spoon.
I guess the question is, what would you rather have? A knife or a fork? Probably a knife.
A knife for sure. Oh, yeah, a knife.
Yeah, probably a knife.
All the medieval peasants only used to have a knife, and they functioned decently well.
Just shivving people.
That's your.
What the fuck do you mean? That's fine.
I think I'm taking the fork
over a knife.
Really?
Okay, so like for me, if all else fails, right, you just go barbarian. You use your hands.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but then you have like
what if your hands are dirty?
But go wash them.
You don't need to cut, and like, and even still, if you were like, if that's all you had, and you were like, ooh, but what if I had an enemy? I think if you had a knife, your enemy is more prepared that you're gonna just get at them. But if you have a fork, they're gonna suspect less, and then you just whammo.
I see what you're.
Yeah, but it still does less damage.
No, I'm fork to the eye.
Yeah, but like knife
you're trying to
anywhere
look
is
up
like
the
same
US.
damage.
But
No,
I just
fork is
rather have the
nowhere near.
fork because
Fork is nowhere near the same damage as knife.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
like nowhere close.
Like the only place you can fork someone is like their eyes. Like, that's not
it's good enough.
anywhere else. It's not going to be as effective.
So I don't know if I told you this actually, but people are asking for more of your awesome food takes.
No,
And-
hold up. Bro's been cooking. Tell him.
Yes.
Tell him.
And that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
College and Jai have alerted me that you've been cooking, you've been doing all these things. So like,
yeah, like
how's that going?
If people didn't know, now it's like there's Culture Summer 26 going on right now, which is a program where people are supposed to like actually think about more about culture and stuff like that. And incorporated into that is like eating better. So I have actually started to cook like actual food, not just buying microwave meals and eating those. And it has been interesting experience. Also, I'm like doing like vegetarian. I think it's like the thing where you eat plants.
You have a vegetarian diet?
Yeah.
Where
like,
you eat what?
Fuck off! Mocking the ESL again. Why won't you like? That's fucked up. I still eat like eggs and fish, but like I'm trying to cut out meat. So it's like kind of annoying to sometimes find shit like recipes and stuff. And like,
Yo,
what the fuck do you want now?
everyone just pictured you outside, just fucking picking like
Just foraging.
eating directly from
He's using that scout training. Got to forage the veg.
right.
Yeah, you can make the paper eating joke next. Why won't you?
I already slid
I
one
mean,
in there.
I
Gotta
know.
catch that one.
I was like, what the fuck off? Yeah. So like if people remember the tier list I used to make about foods, I have to like kinda amend that a bit.
Oh no.
Because as it turns out, hummus is actually kinda nice.
Oh.
Like actually
Big
nice.
up for him.
Like
I'm trying to tell you that.
yeah, it's like nice enough that I actually buy it now and eat it like with wraps and bread and stuff, which I never thought I would do.
Wow.
So like, did you just not like it because of vibes, or
No, I like ate it.
actually
I
taste
ate it
it
at
like
one point at like a restaurant or something, and it tasted disgusting then. Where it was kind of like avocado-ish.
ooh,
I don't know, but like I just remember me not really liking it, and like I didn't actively hate it. I think Brandon talked about him liking it, so I wanted to be an asshole contrarian and say that it sucks ass, if you can believe it.
so to own him, you bought hummus. Now you like hummus.
Yeah, basically. Or like I wanted to test this. I wanted to test out the foods I disliked. So I bought
So what's your
hummus.
thoughts about spices? Are you on the spices train now?
I'm still not like a chili head. I bought spices, and I've been using them, and they're like fine. I don't know what's the like. It's still like not a value prospect where you like make a food hella spicy, but like I can get why people enjoy it. I bought like sriracha, which sucks ass. That hot sauce is like garbage. Fuck sriracha. Like this is anti-sriracha podcast. Hell no, it tastes ass.
So good.
No, hell no.
You put what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to make a soup and then you put the sriracha.
Brother,
like,
what
in
the fuck?
there.
You're not putting
Or you make
sriracha
a
in a
sriracha
soup,
mayo.
brother. You ain't doing that shit.
So college, you're like a cracked baker, yeah?
Yeah, I've made 2 whole things. But yes, I'm trying to get into baking, like part of Culture Summer Culture 26, whatever. Because I don't cook. I hate cooking.
Huh?
And part of that I think is there's not enough guardrail. I feel like there's not a specific time.
That's legit
things
a
are
skill
cooked.
issue.
It is. No, yes, I agree. I'm
Okay, sure.
a scrub, right? But like I'm not going. I'm just gonna dig my heels in and not learn how to cook. Baking, on the other hand, that vibes with me because it's like you measure out this much, put it in a bowl. Measure out this much, put it in another bowl. Mix the 2 bowls.
That's literally
Put
cooking.
it. Bake them at this. No.
Yeah,
It's different. It's different.
No.
Because with cooking, you have because with cooking,
Yeah, you have more
it's all
options.
about
Like baking is like playing
taste.
Magic
Yeah,
the Gathering, where like you
yeah,
get handhold, by like, oh, you play the land now, and like cooking is actual Netrunner
Yeah.
where you get actual actions, and the game is
Yes,
fun to
yes,
play.
yes. So I've already played Netrunner. Why would I want to? What's another game? Why would I want to get into? And I already get wrecked by Dune Imperium Uprising. Why would I want to play a game of Dune Imperium Uprising every time I'm hungry? Also, baking beats out cooking just based on vibes. Because like I was talking about this with someone. If like if I have extra cookies, right, and I come over and I'm like, hey, you want a cookie? You're gonna be like, yeah, sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
If I bake extra like lasagna or spaghetti and I come in and I'm like, hey guys, you want some of my leftover lasagna or spaghetti? You know, if you're a
The vibe is
goblin,
off,
you're
yeah.
probably like, fine. But you're gonna be like, no, like that's what, just eat it for lunch, bro. So it's just the vibes are just completely
Okay, what the fuck do you eat then?
whatever my fiance cooks.
Okay, sure.
See, that's the cheat code of life.
The other people don't have a
is-
personal chef for them.
Exactly.
Oh, don't worry, Axel. Yours is coming soon. You're taking the trip to Latvia soon, yeah?
Whoa.
That shit was
Is
kind
that
of
why
wild.
you travel so much?
That's
why
why
I
that's
say
why I'm
what?
specifically going to Latvia apparently.
Yeah. So basically, there's this thing that came up on my feed on YouTube, and it was like places that have more women than men, and Latvia was one of them. And then how in Latvia, like so little amount of men, like that, like they'll like you could literally like they're looking for like husbands, like what's the bride thing called?
90-day
thing?
fiance?
No,
Mail
like
order bride?
yeah, mail order brides is like mail order husbands, where you come in and you do like housework and
Whoa,
all this
that's
stuff or whatever. But like, yeah, it's cracked and it's in Latvia. And I just said, like, it's no context. Just said, actually, like, hey, this is like where you need to be. Go get this guap. And I sent him this video, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to Latvia in like 3 weeks. I'm like, perfect. It's all you. I expect you to come back with your bride to be.
Aksu pings the NSGTO chat. Hey guys, I got a venue in Latvia. Anyone wants to show up?
I'm going to host Worlds at Latvia next year.
Gonna host Worlds in Latvia.
Okay,
Actually, you better put
if
in that work.
anybody was confused, I'm going there to play Netrunner. Like, what the fuck?
Slander. We know where the real reason is. Listen,
I
Axu,
think
put in that
Brandon
work.
has
Don't
just
disappoint me.
watched a random video about something and instantly believed it. Like the fucking dangerous AI videos.
You believe this?
Brandon
I
probably
mean, those are perfect. Like, those are perfect. Number one. Number two, the video I sent you was just it's good advice, so I hope and then like you'll have whatever your fiance cooks and it'll be perfect. It's just a cheat code. I like college gave you the broken strat. You know what I mean?
I did. It is honestly OP.
Yeah, then I can start baking and I can make something for the bake off next year.
Mm-hmm. I will say I did actually maple cookies. Oh my god, those were so freaking good. Oh my god. I just want to let you guys know
Have
that.
you actually baked only like twice?
Literally only twice, yeah.
And when did you like start thinking this is a hobby?
Well, like I feel like I need to bake again before I call it a hobby. Otherwise, it's just like a little 2-week New Year's resolution. But at first, I made a strawberry crisp because there were a bunch of strawberries laying around, and I was like, I want to do something nice for my fiance.
Mm-hmm.
So I just looked up, I literally looked up, Googled easy strawberry baking recipes, and this thing was like, put some flour and sugar with the strawberries, and then put some oats, brown butter with sugar, butter, brown sugar, and then just bake that.
Did
and
you
then
follow
I made
the Google AI
maple
one?
cookies.
Or did you
I
actually
literally just Googled. Oh, shout out Sally's Baking Addiction.
Okay, so you
Great
didn't just
baking
look
site.
up the Google Gemini answer.
Yeah, I just look up. It's even better than AI because it's like a real person.
Yeah, exactly.
That actually
so you are not like a subhuman.
No. I'm really bad in the kitchen. Super bad.
I'm still like I would like some of these baked goods as well. Are you gonna join the ShadowNet Bake Off?
No, I think I'm banned. I post too cringe of memes to be on ShadowNet. Also shout out White Blade's East Coast slander before Worlds. That was pretty funny.
And like Did any West Coast people get into the cut? This is a very anti-West Coast podcast.
I mean, I actually don't even mind West Coast people because, like, again, Man in the Moon and and CTZ, shout out, like.
Okay, they have a couple of cool people there.
It's basically
like
just
UK,
whatever
where,
White
like,
Blade.
Some people are like assholes, and like rest of them are fine.
In some parts of the West Coast, when you go like north to the PNW, it's mostly just like chill hipster.
What's
California is
what's
kind of
PNW?
Like, Pacific Northwest. Sorry, so that's like Oregon
sure.
and Washington. Like those places are chill. California is just so big; it's just like you can't really generalize. It's basically like 3 states worth of like people because you have NorCal and then SoCal, but then you also have like San Diego area, which is even south of SoCal, which is really close to Mexico.
I mean, I'm European, so I can
there's
generalize all I want.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. America is just 3 states: New York, Texas, and California.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you excited for new cards?
Oh my God, bro! Please.
I think everybody is.
I'm excited for new cards, and I'm also excited for potential ban list changes. I'm just interested to see. I think realistic wish list is Daily Cast comes off, just because just to get on my Daily Cast soapbox for a second. It never sat well with me when people were like Rip Bozo Daily Casts, and then there was kind of this thinking that like, well, this card's been around since 2014 or whenever 2013, whenever Creative Commission came out. And I'm like, dude, Sure Gamble's right there. It's literally been the staple runner card since the game like came out. You have to have a very good reason to not play Sure Gamble. And so like the hate that Daily Cast got was just kind of like, I don't know. I think it got a little too much hate, and the explanation was a little. There's a little bit of copium. It was like a little bit. And I think with where the game is at, in terms of like I was saying, where the game's very sharp, in my opinion. Like you need to run and contest something, and then you need to have some sort of follow-up econ to survive a measure response, or to survive an oppo, or even measure response late in the game. And I think because we've had this discussion a lot in the tiebreaker server, ice and ice breakers are in a fine spot, but it's just the sum of where kind of runner econ is. I think one more non-restrictive econ card would be nice, but I don't know if they would give Crim Daily Casts and Open Market, like 2 sources of drip. Also, NSG, can I have my kids back? Can I have my dolls back, please? I miss them.
Yeah, like dolls, and I think there were a couple bans that were like power level bans, where like runners would have had 2 money at the start of Elevation if these cards didn't get the ban list. And like, I think Matryoshka is one of those where it like was kind of banned situationally, so I could totally see it coming off at some point.
Yeah,
like we were discussing about AI hate ice, and I could totally see a world where Vantage Point was made. This could be Cope coming from a Dolls enjoyer, but I can imagine Vantage Point, the bulk of its design was made while Dolls was in the meta, while they were like a meta defining breaker. So my hope is that one or two new ice is like an IP block-esque, right? Like every time you encounter it with an AI, this thing happens, as opposed to, oh, you just need a fractor or decoder or hush to like deal with it. Because as is, VSA, Hammer, Samac are like fine, but I think a big reason why Dolls got banned was they just didn't do a lot, and then you also had Hush on top of that, which served as like double.
Yeah.
But I'm just ready for new cards, just in general, for sure.
I don't know if I actually like anti-AI ice. I feel like you have to balance around AI breakers with themselves, so you need to put like restrictions on them. Matryoshka's numbers are like fine enough, and it has like other liabilities, so I think it's probably fine. But yeah, it's tough to say.
It's just tough just because of how, like, I just wanted to speak on dolls a little bit more just because it is a really cool card. I really like the art. But I think a big thing that gets lost in the weeds of dolls is it's actually the best killer like in the game outside of Bug Alter. Because if you just look at the raw numbers, and I use a icebreaker sheet that also gives a weight to all the breaking numbers depending on how popular an ice is. And like on its face value, you look at dolls and you're like, okay, you can break drafter for 3. That's cool, I guess. But the fact that you can break drafter for 3 with a $3 install, and you can face check anything, and you don't have to spend 2 to 4 influence for breakers, you can put that into generic money like clean getaways and creative commission, just meant like dolls are very, very good. Like they're super good as a killer, really good as a decoder, and then like they're fine as a fractor. Like you just put a rising tide in there, and then dolls with rising tide or Begamont with Essa. You know, shout out Essa. We
No.
We love.
You don't know what podcast you are on.
Yeah, you forgot what route you stepped into.
The realm of
Fuck
Essa
Essa for life. Go ahead.
100%.
But yeah, that's why I mean, like, I think Daily Cast is like a nice middle ground of like, it wouldn't just instantly become the most popular breaking option or way of subverting ice like Ban Horror Dolls does. And it like, maybe it's a little bit of cope, but there are some decks that do function. Actually, no, that's just full cope. I was about to say there are some decks that do function better without Daily Cast, but you just knick-knack it. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
really, really good. But I think the game, you might need it.
I think Daily Cast is like probably a fine unbanner. Can I sell you on the Cyberdeck Sandbox unbanner?
See, well, so here's the thing: is I know from our conversations, I actually know the text of the card, so I know that you can't res Mav, pop Mav, fetch a fly swatter, and you'll only get 4. So I know that. So I'm not walking into that trap. But I think if you unban Cyberdecks, I think you just like if you unban Cyberdecks, you need to unban moshing, which I think is ultimately your long con.
I mean,
I think that's ultimately what you're angling for. I think Cyberdecks is just the Trojan horse.
I think long con is the perfect way to describe Axe's intent here. Long con. For sure. Okay, so if there was a card like coming up the next set, or like a type of card you would like to see, what would it be? Like a card does what? I'm
gonna be honest. This is just completely off the dome, but I would really love a card that interacts with agendas in some way on the runner side, like a turntable-esque card, like some way of like stealing, like just enough where some decks would not absolutely get crushed by it. Like Epiphany is running all 2-pointers, so that doesn't really matter for them. But just like imagine a world where like you have a turntable-esque card and your opponent Fuji flips, and you don't immediately feel like you lost the game because you could swap like a hybrid for a Fuji. Maybe that's too extreme. Like maybe there's a design, I don't know, just off the top of my head, like pulling like a way of for runners to interact with agendas in score areas. Is again that's like that sort of vein of interacting with your opponent's cards in parts of the board which have previously felt very like concrete. And I think it would like do a lot of work towards like the Spire decks. You know, like even if you're BTL and you're running all 3-pointers, being able to swap an SDS with a Basalt with 2 counters on just means that you don't have to fear measure response as much. Like I think honestly, Turntable might be one of my favorite cards like ever, just because of how fun it is moving your opponent's cards around.
That could buy that.
Turntable.
And I think that's a more elegant design than like a clot reprint. You know, like because multiple designers have talked about wanting to stray away from, okay, Anarchs and Shapers, you can play this silver bullet. Crim, you can't play this silver bullet. right? So like turntable S card, very strong effect, but it takes up your console slot. Whatever faction it is might get a boost. Like maybe make Brandon mad and put it in Crim, and like
Put it in
then you would
Crim.
actually have a real debate on like, do you play Hermes to be able to punch back, or do you play this blue turntable, let's call it, and then you can mess with the corpse plan that way.
Yeah. And then you put it on one influence and make everybody play it.
Yeah, and then and then you like you do with all good runner cards, you make it one influence, and then you mog Brandon in the Discord chat.
Listen, how did this happen? Like I swore that bringing Ice Cream College would put an end to the bullying that I receive on
No.
this pod.
I know way too much lore. I know way too much lore.
The Ice Cream College is a
and
long
then-
time listener. Like,
I'm deep in the logs. I'm in the walls.
Listen, if college double teams with Axe against, there's no hope for me. It's Jover. It's Jover.
I share the banter with everyone. Ask Not Yet. Every time Not Yeti pops up in the chat, I'm like, all right, who's looking to fight? I just know Mate is looking to square up. But yes, I do agree, Brandon. Every time I go to build a runner deck and I'm looking at the influence options, that clip of you complaining about one influence cards just goes on a cycle in my head, and I'm like, dang, Mate was spitting. Oh my god,
He's on fire. Perfect.
literally NBA Jam.
Yep.
Half mid-court shots, dude. Like
From
seriously.
downtown.
And then just real quick, besides like a runner turntable-esque swapping effect, I would also just love more corp win cons that aren't just tied to measure response. So I think you already saw a really good example of that with Flood the Market.
Mhm.
So like that's a card I'm really, really excited about. And like I hope my hope with Vantage Point is it's true to its name and it's more of like a supplemental expansion. You know, because like each set kind of has its own design goals. Elevation was very clearly like the second half of core.
Yeah.
So you had some really strong cards like Measure Response, but overall you had Next Big Thing, which is a good agenda, but like it still has a 3 on it, so it's nerfed that way. And so I hope Vantage Point adds it adds more powerful effects, more interesting cards that give me a reason to not just play Measure Response and Alco and Op. You know what I mean?
Mm.
No, but I'm hyped. I'm so hyped. Do we got a spoiler yet?
Just the couple ones from World.
We need a scoop, yeah.
Yeah,
y'all need to get a scoop.
I need to go harass NSG employees for a scoop at some point.
Not a wrap. What is it called? What, March 3rd?
March 2nd, yeah, 3rd or 2nd, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Early
Did you
March?
pre-order it yet?
Did I pre-order?
Yeah.
You could pre-order?
You can.
Yeah, on the online store. Or you can ask your local game store to like put in a bulk pre-order.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Whoa. Okay, you heard it here first, folks. You can you could do this thing.
I don't think this is a first. I think this is
it's breaking news.
That's a scoop, yeah.
initial announcement.
It's definitely a 2-1 that gives you tags for sure. It's breaking news.
Oh god.
Yeah, like go order all your sets, 2-3 copies if you need. Which, honestly,
at this point.
No. I definitely see the value in it. A lot of times, like especially for people who are like the people who are not proxiers, they're like, I'm gonna build so many decks. They usually get like 2-3 of the set, so that they just have like 9 of the cards or whatever, and they don't have to
just proxy the
fiddle
card.
with-
Just proxy like.
No, support the cause. Support the cause. And get your products on the online store. Pre-order that thing.
You're getting a cut from this marketing?
No.
Well, Brandon does.
But maybe I set myself up for a position in the future, maybe.
No, yeah, maybe. Next time
No,
the
I'm
promo
probably-
code. If you use code King's Court, you get 15% off the core set.
Listen, NSG, you hearing this?
2012
Use us, abuse us. And so like everyone, we had a new idea for merch. Actually, do you want to tell them about our merch idea?
You were talking about the Axo plush, which, like, when you press the hand, it says all the catchphrases, which I don't
Yes,
think
all
I
the
have too
Axie.
many.
Wait, is this
You have a
legit?
ton.
It's
Oh, I would love this. This is like, okay, so Axie was like, hey, maybe we need alternate plans on like how many alt arts we give up. Maybe we could use the money in different places. A sick prize would be an Axie plush that actually like has all the Axie catchphrases. This is merch that I don't even know how you get maybe you have to like build a bear. I don't know how you do this,
Yeah, I
but
think you
like
gotta build
just
there.
go to your local Build-A-Bear and use the promo code King's Court, so they will make you an Axo plush.
yeah, but like I want it like Tickle Me Elmo, but like Axie, where it's just like, oh brother, or that's peak, or
No.
nar, or like all the Axies, fam, and all Axie things that we need. With the Quag, what is it, Quagsire?
Quagsire.
Quagsire, yeah.
On there, and yeah. So like, let us know in the comments if you're interested in the Axu merch. Maybe we get that made. Because I think that'd be sick. All right. This is by no consent of Axu. I just said that this is gonna happen, by the way. So
Y'all need to make a Patreon and have like the top tier get like a plush. That could be a Patreon reward.
Actually, do you know how to do one of those?
Patrons, yes, but like, I don't think anybody like should support this podcast. B, like, what the hell are we offering as rewards for like patronizing?
Are you kidding? Listen,
like you're not doing coaching or any shit.
Say what?
You're not doing coaching like Andre is.
Like I do a lot of coaching. It's just not hand over hand. I tell people what they need to be questioning, what they need to ask, what they what they need to think about and things like that. And we bring the fire, we bring the sickest guests on, and
yeah, but that's not a Patreon reward.
No, what do you mean? What's on there? I don't know. I've never seen this thing.
No, like I think you're supposed to have like exclusive episodes or some shit. I don't know, but all the like big podcasts have like a Patreon where there's extra episodes, or they like send you gift cards or something, or like cards, or they can, I don't know.
All right. Also, audience, if you could leave in the comment section like ideas for the King's Court Patreon, greatly appreciated. Thank you. College. Is there anything that you wanted to shout out, talk about that we haven't covered, go into, anything like that?
Yeah, just real quick, shout out Tiebreakers. Y'all are amazing. Shout out Future Perfect, Saka Fa, still keeping on. Shout out Unk Band. Always got to get Unk Band mentioned in there. Shout out all the cool, amazing tournament organizers that do all these events, especially OF 1515 and Kror and Yasengrin and Man in the Moon, because like JNet is very fickle. It'll be fine, and then all of a sudden it'll just want to tear the whole thing down. Shout out to y'all. And then didn't really get a chance to talk about this, but I also ran a off meta month event where I did an async league for what I call vintage, which is the core set 2012 card pull from core set 2012 to Data and Destiny. The first winner was Tiebreaker's own Prof Wacko. So congrats to you. And
let's go, Prof.
I will probably, because of the feedback, I'll probably be looking to run a few more of those tournaments. I just need to figure out what I exactly want to do with prizing.
Will it be the same format?
I don't want to get. I'll probably do just like a day, just like one day, not do async, just because I wanted thinking with async was I wanted to give people full freedom to play multiple archetypes, just because I didn't want people to lock into an RP deck and they're like, oh wait, this deck sucks. Why do I have to play 3 more rounds? So I let people just completely change all their decks in between. But I think Prof and Beeblum, who came second, I think they sticked with the same decks all 4 rounds. But yeah, the feedback I got was really, really positive. So look out for more vintage events. I have to work on prizes for that because I want to give people a little incentive outside of bragging rights. Bragging rights are always great, but got to have that cardboard. So
Can you have this ready for February? Because that's going to be a dead month.
yeah, I was thinking about setting something up for February. So I might shout out Man in the Moon, get some alt arts or work with him, just like see how I can get that to work. But yeah, I just wanted to thank y'all for letting me come up on here, talk about my misplays, talk about my history, and also if anyone is looking to just like get better at the game, I strongly suggest asking for coaching advice. I do not do coaching. Our wonderful Jai does. Saka also does it. Andre, Whiteblade. Like if you just ask around, you'll find people who are willing to coach you. But if anyone wants, just to shoot the bull or go over replays and I have an extra like 30 minutes, I'm also down if you just like want to chat. So yeah.
I think Andre said full-time job, no coaching.
No coach. Okay.
Andre is
yeah,
not
yeah.
coaching anymore, but
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
coaching anymore, but Bridgman, soccer, the works. But Jai, our people's champion,
People's champ.
is like
Lisan Al
open for business. Please sign up now. We need a King's Court promo for this as well. But we'll work with Jai. Our people will talk to his people and see what we can figure out. But yeah,
I was told
hit up Jai.
there is a special code, Brandon. It's if you type in code the People's Champ when you message Jai, he will add 15% to the coaching fee.
That's a scoop.
Type in. Please type in
first ever breaking news.
Please type in B1001 to get your promo code. No, really though, really. Yeah, definitely look for Jai. If you're looking for that coaching, he is accepting pupils. Maybe something like that. Net runner ease. I don't know. Well, thank you much for joining us, coming around. Axu, always be eating and
always be cooking.
Yeah, everyone like, comment, subscribe. We're back. We already got a guest lined up for next week, so don't worry. We're gonna get on a roll. It's gonna be hot again. I know you've been missing us. I know you've been fiending for that content, but we back, baby. And we outie.
We outie.
Bye.